This is Alan with the Tune Arm in Baltimore. A gooner and a toffee walk into a bar. Decided to do a shit football podcast. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
Yeah, and then the little tiny arms knocked a fucking ball over top of the net right at the death to preserve a 1-0 shutout, bitch.
Yeah. I'd also say us doing this for 7 years is a personal affront to him.
Yeah, it would definitely be. That is for damn sure. But it's a classic, so you always got to play it.
Oh, come on. It's good stuff.
Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smell the Malört. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and getting grayer by the day across the way from me, my co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. It is looking pretty gray today.
Yeah, it is. Kind of
Great.
homeless man looking kind of thing. Captain Caveman.
It's kind of humid, you know?
Encino Man.
That doesn't help the frizz.
Hey, Mel, maybe call up your old boyfriend, Paulie Shore, to go shoot a movie with Graham there as Encino Man.
Yeah, thanks.
Because I'm the wizard.
Yeah, thanks.
Wheezing the juice.
And, of course, on the ones and twos, Producer Mel. How you doing over there, Producer Mel?
I love it that I'm looking like the youngest by at least 5 years.
Oh, how about that? Perfect. That little pause to make sure the hit the fucking mute button came in. We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
As always, it is at DU Football Show on all the social media and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
And I am proud to announce that at the end of this week, one of all the socials will not include X because DU Football Show is going off of fucking X.
Suck it.
There's not enough engagement. All I get are ads about political things or some shit that Elon wants me to see. And I'm there for the footy, and it's not giving me the footy. And there's other places that give me the footy. So I'm leaving. We're not going to be on X anymore.
Sweet.
It's fucking pointless.
I'm cool with that. It's been a cesspit for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
I get zero, like legitimately zero engagement. If you don't spend the money to become verified, you're not getting engagement.
Right.
And the people you would be engaging with, you don't want to fucking engage with.
Correct.
Anyways. So
Right.
it's just, it's fucking pointless. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So is the red-blooded Americans we are. We vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show, the final show of the season, but we do not stop with the gin binge. Mr. Graham, what are we drinking tonight?
And it's one I've never had before, actually. I've had the regular, but not this. This is Citadel Gin de France Reserve, the Chateau de Bonbonnet. It comes in at 90.4 proof, 45.2% for those of you keeping track at home. It is done in a copper pot still, of course. The resting vat was a patented wooden egg. Mm-hmm. Nice. A patented wooden egg.
One can deduct that Citadel is owned by the Mason Ferrand company.
Mm-hmm.
Mason Ferrand makes Pierre Ferrand, which is cognac. Copper pot still, you can only make cognac 1 month a year. So the rest of the year, you might as well use it for something. You make gin, and I would imagine there's probably some old wood vats that used to hold cognac in them that they could probably easily put gin into.
So they apparently use acacia wood, floral and honeyed with a hint of fresh mint, mulberry, peppery sweetness and elegant spice, wild cherry, red fruits and fresh hazelnuts, chestnut, full-bodied with soft tannins, and French oak, silky, subtle, spiced and toasted almonds, which I reckon is probably the limit in barrels.
Yep. Very, very good. Mel, what do you think? I know you're a big G&T girl. You have yours. What do you, it's when I look at you to talk to you.
I was looking for more. I love it. It's very soft. And
Excuse me.
I was I thought I heard another belch, and I didn't want to have another belch controversy in the pre-show, so I was
like
trying to
last week.
walk past it. No, I really like gin. I like that the floral notes come out. The juniper is pretty suppressed, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
I like a suppressed juniper. That's my least favorite part of the gin is actually the juniper part. I don't mind it, but I don't like it when it punches in your face. I'd rather it just be a whisper.
Heard. Now, we also have...
What?
He's over there hitting all his tools.
Oh.
Well, we also have... That
Unless you're
leads
mocking me going whisper of gin.
Yeah.
That leads me into the next part of things is, Mr. Graham, you and I have obligations for the year.
Yes, we do.
You were worse in betting than I was, so you
Yep.
have to do 3 shots of Malört throughout the show. And
we go.
my league was worse than your league in fantasy, and I agreed to do 3 cocktails. One of those cocktails is a shot, which I agreed to do because you had done earlier in the year.
Dumpster fire, right?
I'm not doing it with the Old Bay. I'm doing the original, which is with the crystals.
No, I just wanted to put a little Maryland twist on it since I didn't have any crystal with me.
Oh, perfectly fair. Perfectly fair. Oh.
There you go. Want to knock the first one out?
Let's go ahead and knock the first one out, my friend.
Cheers,
Cheers.
sir.
Oh my God, that's god awful. Fuck me.
Oh, straight never gets easier either. All right.
Holy shit, that's terrible.
First one down.
All right, now here's your words. Why was it? What made it especially heinous?
It's not even the peppery hot that comes later. It's just the viscosity and thickness of the hot sauce
With the flavor of the
Malört.
It makes it more throw uppy.
Honestly,
So it was thick and veiny.
Yes, it was thick and veiny. Honestly, the finish of the hot sauce.
Mike says we should all do one at the Blues game on Saturday, and
I mean, I'll bring Malört. If y'all want to try it, y'all more than fucking welcome to. I will say the hot sauce, the peppery spice of the hot sauce at the end does kill the throw up taste afterwards.
It helps. It helps a little.
There's none of that.
But right when it hits your tongue, there's nothing you can do about
horrid.
it. Yeah.
all right. So wait, maybe we should start treating the Malört like an old school tequila shot.
A hot sauce after. Yeah.
Do the shot of Malört and then immediately with the hot sauce.
It's not a bad shout.
I'm
Do
going to
we
go
have
ahead
hot sauce
and
here?
make my cocktail for the next one.
I'm going to do it for my shot because I think I'm up in the next segment looking at the agenda here.
You are right there. So I am making for my first cocktail equal parts, 1 ounce each of Malört, an Italian bitter. I'm using Rimitato because I didn't feel like pulling the Campari out, and I have extra Rimitato, so wanted to get that. And sweet vermouth.
Oh, God.
That's right. I am making a Malört Negroni.
What do you call it? The Maloney?
A Magroni.
A Magroni?
A Malgroni for Malört.
What is it?
Malgroni.
What does it taste like? Oh, makes your stomach Magroni.
Of course,
That's not bad.
I have the bar spoon here.
Like
so let's,
Malört.
give that a proper stir.
Something
Note,
really gross.
note I am holding the bar spoon properly while I give it that stir.
Because Malört sounds like it would taste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just an ugly word.
All right, kids, let's get into it. I will have a sip of that as we get into things, but let's get going.
God, that's
The
gross.
Prem season has reached its conclusion. We knew who our champion was, and we knew who was going down. But Europe was still to be decided, with 5 clubs separated by a single point. Manchester United 2, Villa 0, Man City 2, Fulham 0, Chelsea 1, Forest 0, Everton 1, Newcastle 0, Liverpool 1, Palace 1, Brighton 4, Spurs 1, Brentford 1, Wolves 1, Arsenal 2, Southampton 1, West Ham 3, Ipswich 1, Bournemouth 2, Leicester 0. This felt more like the Montreal screw job from the WWE than an actual football match.
Right with the full body contact.
It was, the refs got it wrong. 100%. 1,000. They got it completely wrong.
Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, that's what the game comes down to. The game comes down to, yes, there was the Emi Martinez red card, which no one was surprised he did it. Emi wasn't surprised when he got the red card. He tried to act surprised, but he knew what he was doing. It was a fucking red.
What a fucking dumbass.
I will say, I did proclaim to the bar, why didn't you just let Hoyland go by you? He would have probably missed the open net.
Probably would have put it wide. But you always have it. You're better than them is the other piece of that being idiotic.
Yeah.
Hey, your team is better than them. Even if you do go 1-0 down.
Assume you can get the lead
with
back.
11 men on the field. And it proved at the end of the day, not even that. It proved at the end of the day, a point would have been good enough.
Yeah.
It came down to goal differential because of your result.
Mm-hmm.
It came down to goal differential. So 1 point would have been good enough to get you in. Yeah. And you've got a far better chance of doing that with 11 men on the field than you do otherwise.
Absolutely.
That being said, the second idiot of the day, normally we cliche these with a game of two halves.
Yeah.
No, this is a game of two idiots.
Yeah.
And the second idiot is that referee.
Yeah.
I am a goalkeeper. He did not have any control of that ball, and the player didn't even kick him.
But here's the other.
Didn't even touch him.
The other
Rodgers
piece to
didn't
that.
touch him.
It was surgical. The way he got the ball was surgical.
The other piece to this is the referee wasn't in a position to make the call anyway. He wasn't close enough to it. He was far away. Excuse me. With, I believe, Rodgers' run kind of obstructing his view of what actually happened, first. Secondly, this is why, because I believe he was running diagonally across the field and ended up over to the left of them.
Yep.
Right, as Rodgers put it in. This is why you don't blow the whistle. Marginal offsides, possible fouls in the build up to a goal.
Yeah.
This is why you let these things slide so VAR does its job. So you have the benefit of the replay and the slow motion and all the things to make the right decision. Because this is, this decision is akin to the U.S. goal in the World Cup to hit the underside of the crossbar. The goal for Frank Lampard in England hit the underside of the crossbar. Both against Germany.
Yep. Absolutely.
Conspiracy theory. Keep, extrapolate that out. It's the whole reason this came in was because these clubs are losing out on millions and millions of pounds. The Europa League prize money was $5 million. Now, I'm sure you're probably around the 70, 80 million television money.
Right.
But it ain't fuck you Champions League television money, I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
It's not the prestige of that to be able to attract players. It's not any of those things.
And the difference in the off seasons that Newcastle can now have and Villa cannot have
It may
vast.
The talk was Newcastle was going to have to sell one of Guimaraes or Isaac, basically, to be able to buy anybody. Now they don't have to.
They don't have to at all. No, they don't have to at all.
But the other piece that not a lot of people have really touched on is for Villa. There are clubs with higher wage bills. Although I do believe they were in the top 10 in Europe for wage bills, sixth in the Premier League, I think. But with their stadium and with their commercial capabilities, their wage bill is something north of 90% of their turnover.
That's not surprising.
Which means 10% of their operating cost possibly is the maximum amount being able to be used in the transfer market.
Yeah.
So now, can they attract players? Can they do anything?
Unless they sell
and then
somebody.
Subsequently, those wages go against that 10% also. So how many people will they be able to afford? It could severely dampen their plans for the summer or force them to sell somebody they don't want to have some extra cash.
I'll have to sell.
And it's all because
Morgan
this
Rodgers.
fucking idiot shouldn't have blown his whistle is the point.
I did appreciate
Let VAR do its job.
What they said as far as their response to everything and their complaint to the league.
That he was only...
That why did you have such an inexperienced ref this match? Yes, Mel.
Mike, Annapolis Blues fan, Mike, has a conspiracy theory. Part of him feels that Martinez got the red, so Villa doesn't qualify for Championship League, and he can leave to find a team that does play.
Emmy ain't going.
He's not that smart.
No, where Emmy's going. Emmy,
he's more reactionary.
If Emmy's going anywhere, Emmy's going to the Saudi League because the Saudi League is going to give him fucking money, and he's old enough now in his career where he can do. But
no.
I don't see him going to a Champions League side.
No, and possibly it would squash any rumor that he's going to Man United because that was circling around, which was fucking comical. But no, Emmy just is he's reactionary. That's the problem with him is he's a hothead.
Yeah.
The other piece to that too is Arsenal might be back in form.
Oh, really?
Saudi and Real Madrid are circling David Raya.
All the shit talking he's done on Arsenal, he's going to go back.
Yeah, he admitted in his post match. They asked him about the links, and he said he still loved the club. You forget for all of his antics and
he was there forever.
But 10 years, 11 years, something like that. But the couple of mistakes that he's made pale in comparison. He's the current World Cup holding goalkeeper. Don't forget that.
Absolutely.
He's a very good goalkeeper and deserves to be playing in the Champions League and challenging for the highest honors.
Maybe he shouldn't have, in the middle of the match.
The screw job here is on Villa. Mm-hmm. If he did on that conspiracy theory do that intentionally to force a move to a Champions League side.
Oh, here's this heel turn.
He then also screwed Villa out of probably 20 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're going to be strengthening a direct rival at that point.
Right. Exactly.
Now they're not.
Right. Precisely.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
and whether he stays in England or not, I mean, who could say? But there's a load of Champions League clubs that Jan Oblak is being talked about moving to Saudi. Mm-hmm. Walsh Chesney has been offered another 1-year contract. And, Barcelona have been looking at David Raya. Mm-hmm. They've also been looking at Espanyol's João Garcia as well.
That was the one I heard you guys were looking at, too.
Correct. But then Emmy now has emerged as a target because of this situation. And Ter Stegen may be on the way out.
Oh, okay.
At Barca.
Okay.
I heard today because of their interest in some of the others and offering Chesney another 1-year contract.
Ter Stegen could end up in Saudi League because he's up there in years too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot that could be going on now. Back to the match itself. We all agree absolutely should not have been a reversed goal, and of course, right after that, Manchester United scores
almost immediately.
Yeah, which you could see coming. I mean, it's like I know it's not a scripted thing, but that's the script that's absolutely written every time. When something like that happens, almost always at the other end, the ball goes in the back.
I mean, it was to be fair to United, they started the game really brightly as well. I mean, they did look like they could score a goal.
They didn't play bad. They actually played quite well.
Emmy had to make a few saves before he made his dumb decision, right? Mm-hmm. So you could kind of feel United building something for this game. Now, they're not good enough to have accomplished it without the antics of Emmy, is what I will say. Mm-hmm. But that man advantage obviously paid off. I mean, the first time down the field, they get, a mismatch in assignment. Somebody comes off, somebody comes on, doesn't really know their job. They got to do this. Maybe the conversation, at the back and direction from both goalkeepers is obviously probably different. Right, the way they communicate to their defense, right, and vice versa, and things got switched and fucked, and that was it.
Agreed. Well, I just poured Mel her shot. Also, the penalty call for
where's the hot sauce?
I already put it in, Mel. I put it in the bottom.
That's not what we asked.
What did you ask?
I'll
make you one. I'll make you another one.
It's okay. I'll do it.
No, I don't give a shit. I'll make you another one.
I'll do it. I'll try it next time. It's fine.
Okay, gotcha.
She wanted to do it like an old school tequila shot where she put the hot sauce on her hand.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll gladly do that for you.
Did the Malört and then licked it.
Here, pass it over. We'll make you another shot.
No, what's going to happen? It's fine. This is my punishment.
Okay, fair enough.
Much like, it's hot and fiery, much like Martinez's.
Yeah, there you go.
Martinez's.
Diallo was inside the box, stepped out wide, and then literally just threw his left leg into
By the way, from Foreverland to Neo,
Yeah.
Villa instead of fucking, Villa got fucked.
Oh yeah, big time.
As Taylor
I'll drink
said,
to that one.
Sometimes they starfish it, you know.
as Taylor sent to me on Sunday, Villa fucks.
Why would you do that to me, you fucking asshole?
My bet.
Right.
Oh
They
god,
fuck
that's
mine
the
too.
worst thing I've ever had.
It's not great. She's sucking the lime now. She dug it out of her G&T.
A Malört Negroni, not terrible.
Really? We sip?
We sip. I mean, the Campari and the vermouth completely cover the Malört. Get a little bit of that earwaxy thing on the back end, but Campari's a little earwaxy too.
Way better than I expected.
Yeah, way fucking better.
Hey, give me one of your limes.
You'll be all right.
Oh my god.
Felt almost inevitable, didn't it, with Manchester City?
Yeah, I mean, they did a professional job. Now, the one piece of magic was the very athletic way the very old Ilkay Gundogan
Yeah.
changed his body shape after Leno got a hand of that cross.
Yeah.
For the overhead kick. It's probably goal of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
pretty easily, especially considering
that
his
little
age.
cheeky back heel from Brighton was pretty
True.
sexy too.
But you got to think, Ilkay Gundogan's almost 40.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? He looks like an iron worker. Like,
Yeah. But here's the positive for everybody is the only cup that City won this year was the old school Arsenal Cup, which was third place.
yeah.
That's
Come
what
on.
they got. Like,
Come on.
so
Now, Haaland did get back on the score sheet after missing 3 of his last 7 penalties as well. That's, something going. Keep an eye on, I think, next season, how many chances he squandered.
we all know they're going to retool. We all know they're going to revamp. We all know they're going to be in the hunt for the title next season.
Face no consequences for doing that.
Yeah, we already know it. We already know it. So this was, hey, everybody, we got our year with a down City. We're not going to have many more of those.
Right.
Appreciate that we had it. And a down year for City, still in Champions League.
Right.
What do we make of Fulham? Because this is a fairly old team, and their young pieces are like Anthony Robinson is getting sold.
You would imagine.
Some callers.
So. With the emergence of Miles Lewis-Skelly, I don't think my fantasy will be realized where Anthony Robinson lines up on the left for Arsenal, which annoys me. It wouldn't surprise me because he's only, 23, 24, right? He's still
24,
fairly young.
24.
It wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool tried to snap him up.
Yep.
As a Robertson replacement. He obviously split a lot of time with Tsimikas. And I think Anthony Robinson is much better than Tsimikas.
Yeah, well, agreed.
So, if they're going to split time, it works him into the team. I think the quality drop-off isn't major. I think Robinson probably has a little bit more to learn. I think he could learn that from somebody like Robertson, right?
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to snap him up. But now with us, we've got 2 senior left backs in Miles Lewis-Skelly, who obviously has been starting, and then Ricardo Calafiori can also play that position. So I don't think my dream will happen, but I think he's definitely moving to a bigger club.
And do we think Marco Silva gets his head turned by a bigger club as well?
Maybe. It feels to me like as long as Chelsea don't fire Maresca, which I don't think they will, I don't think he's dumb enough to go Marco Silva to Manchester United if they decided to part ways with Amorim. Obviously, Slot's not leaving, Arteta's not leaving. And if you take the Tottenham job, you might as that's like walking the plank on your own volition. That's...
Yeah. My thing with Fulham is I feel like Fulham is starting to age out. And I think
they're going to need a retool.
Drop.
I think they'll still be serviceable next season. I don't think they're in trouble getting relegated, for instance. So this could be oh darn, instead of finishing in 10th, we finished in 12th. But buy 2 or 3 pieces this summer, buy 2 or 3 younger players next summer, and then you have to hit the loan market, right? Arsenal's not going to want Reece Nelson back, right now. Right now, he was injured for a bit of this, but you get him a good preseason with the first team properly, and it's every potential to to make an impact on that team for real.
Agreed.
Emil Smith-Rowe still relatively young. Alex Iwobi's just pushing 30. He's been playing some of his best football. He was a bit of a late bloomer. Or Adama Traore, if he slows down 2 steps, he's still faster than 85% of the league. So there's still an opportunity there. They still have a good core of people, but there's a couple at the back getting a little older. You're absolutely right. Yeah. They had Tom Kearney, hasn't been playing much of a part. He's 33, 34 years old, and they want to offer him a new deal.
Do you really feel comfortable having your line led by Raul Jimenez? Munoz didn't really step up and take the job.
Now, but Munoz is so young that inconsistency is bound to be there. I mean, when he was doing everything he was doing it when he was on a consistent run of games. Right. When Jimenez came back from that injury and they started sharing the role, 2 games for Jimenez, 1 for Muniz rather, and his goals dropped off a cliff. But when he had that 7, 8, 9 games in a row, I think he scored in 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one quick jump back to City and then on to the next game. Kevin De Bruyne, do we think it's a foregone conclusion that he's heading to the MLS, or could we see him go into some place like Italy? Like, Napoli just won the league, and all you got to do is pay him a salary. Like, you're getting him for free.
I think part of that will depend upon who Napoli's manager is. They just won the Scudetto. Officially, Antonio Conte is the first person to win it with 3 different clubs, rather. The reason for that is that Fabio Capello has won it with 3, but it was later stripped of those titles because of the match-fixing scandal with Juventus.
Yeah.
So, on the record, Conte's the first person to do it legally. Do it for real.
Right.
Win the 3 with 3 different teams. Anyway, but there's talk he's going to go back to Juventus. He's going to leave Napoli now. Yeah. The manager.
So then you wouldn't see De Bruyne go to
potentially,
Napoli.
And it depends who they can attract, right? And could I see him end up in Italy? Yeah, it's a slower pace. He'd be able to keep up with it. Yeah. Could I see him maybe doing a season in his home country and then calling it quits for good? But why would you do that if you can get paid here and it's a little less hot than Saudi?
Yeah, precisely.
I don't know. I don't know where he's going to end up because he's kind of petty enough. He seems to be constantly mad at everyone around him. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to pop up at like fucking Brighton
just to be a dick.
Just to be a dick and try to beat City on his own.
Right, just to be a dick.
Because he was apparently surprised they didn't offer him a new deal.
Okay. I mean, I don't know why he would not be surprised. He's been there for players who have aged out. Like, he's been there for it. He's seen them do it.
Right.
So why shouldn't he be surprised that they did it to him? Like, they do it to everyone.
Especially with the amount of time they've been injured.
Yeah. And frankly...
Or he's been injured, rather.
They've done it with, like, a player like David Silva who, taking nothing away from KDB's career, Silva was better at what he did than De Bruyne does.
Yeah, but I think the drop off after that is then massive.
Yeah,
for somebody of that ilk.
Yes, of course.
But I would pick David Silva personally in an all time first 11 over Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now Chelsea, they managed to get into the Champions League. Do we feel like they deserved it?
They went on that really good run, but that run also made us all go, and then it kind of extended to prior to the summer, for the last part of last season, where as Cole Palmer went, like once they finally clicked under Pochettino, as Cole Palmer went, so did Chelsea went.
Yeah.
Well, there was a stage there where he didn't do a lot right after Christmas,
right?
And Chelsea still ground out some results, and you were like, oh shit, maybe they've got it. And then they went on a weird kind of very patchy run, and Cole Palmer's not been in form at all.
I feel like
in like the last, 8 weeks.
I do feel like they deserve Champions League. They've been making the progressions forward. I still feel like this is a club we have more questions than answers about, even at the end of the
big
season.
Time. Because you never know what they're going to do in the transfer market. Apparently, they just made an extra, $75 million or something by selling themselves their own women's team.
Right. Yep.
Like another, kind of Barcelona lever, except this actually works.
Yeah.
It actually does skirt the rules properly. So I don't know, man. They're such an oddball situation because they seem to be what Moshiri was trying to do, just using actual pens and calculators rather than crayons and sniffing glue.
And counting fingers.
Yeah.
Fingers and toes.
That Bowley seems to be very good at skirting these rules.
He kept going, I got 10, so I'll buy a 10. How does Forrest take this season? I mean, I think it has to be a positive at the end of it all.
It is, but if you're in there with a shout going into those last 2-3 weeks, and you've had the last 2-3 games that they've had, where even the win that they did have last weekend wasn't a foregone conclusion.
Shaky.
I mean, it was shaky. It has to feel like a disappointment now to not even have Europa League.
Yeah,
but also
they're going to be in the McRib.
Now, a lot of them wouldn't have been alive, but there still would be a considerable number of Forest fans, not maybe going to the ground anymore, that would remember when they won the Champions League.
Yeah,
that were
precisely.
alive when it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And those stories would have been passed around the terraces and would have been passed around the pubs, and people would know this. It's a massive part of their history that they were very, very close, within touching distance of achieving again and getting back to that platform. And you then throw in how long they were out of the league, in general, out of the Premier League, but the last season they had, how they barely escaped by the skin of their teeth staying up, to then turn around and have this season. You can't class it as anything other than a success and a good thing.
Yeah.
But given the context of how close they actually were to achieving Champions League, I think there's going to be a tinge of disappointment to it amongst the fan base.
Here's a team, too, where we're talking about all the teams that are going to kind of get pillaged. I feel like they're going to lose Gibbs White and they're going to lose Murillo, but they're going to get premium money for both. Outside of that, I don't see this team changing much.
No, but you know what? I think Eberechi Eze sees what happened to Wilf Zaha. I think Morton Gibbs White could see similarly what could happen to Zaha, where he did make that move to the bigger club, and it was so difficult and such a pressurized situation.
Yeah.
He ends up coming back.
Yeah.
Right? And then he kind of makes himself unsellable.
Right.
Could due to wage demands versus the actual quality. Then winds up in Turkey. I think he's at Galatasaray.
Yeah, Galatasaray is where he is.
Also, it's not just Arsenal, Liverpool, United, Chelsea players getting called up to England anymore.
Right.
You're seeing these last couple of managers for England pay attention to Eberechi Eze, even though he plays for an unfashionable club in Crystal Palace.
Yep.
You see people, Jordan Pickford at Everton.
Yep. Villa players, Newcastle players.
Exactly. They're looking at other teams and go, shit, playing actually matters. Going and being part of a 15-man rotation at Manchester City, I'd rather play.
Right. Why?
I'm still getting rich, and I can represent my country as people that care, right? So I don't think you'll see as many of those stars kind of move. I think Gibbs White goes, why would I go to Manchester United? They're dog shit. I might even lose my place in the England squad.
I've heard the rumor is City, is what I've been hearing.
But where's he going to go? You think he's going to displace Marmouche?
No.
So why would you go?
Yeah, fair.
You tank your career. Look what Calvin Phillips did. The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
He left that Leeds team, went to City, played two games in one season, and then was riddled with injuries,
and then 2 bad loan spells,
and then 2 terrible loan spells. He couldn't get out of the funk.
Yeah, fair.
So it's like I think people see that and they go, well, England's been to 2 finals. We got a chance to do something special.
Yeah,
why would I move?
Yeah, fair. Now for Newcastle, all he had to do was win at home to a team that was going to be in 13th place if they won or lost. That it didn't even matter.
But it matters to a Glaswegian is the thing.
And
we're going to battle, boys.
And it also matters to a Mackham in the net.
Right.
Clearly it mattered to him because
he turned in a pretty good performance.
Pickford had himself a game.
He did have a pretty good game.
But ultimately Newcastle get in on backdoor, but lucky as shit backdoor. I mean,
I'd take lucky as shit backdoor right now.
We already kind of mentioned they're going to have some money. They're going to be able to hold on to Isak and Guimaraes, which is going to be massive. So we'll just kind of real quickly for Everton, right at the death, Pickford makes that little tip right over top of the bar. As soon as the whistle blows, turns right around, looks right at all the Newcastle supporters and just goes, boop, throws his arms up in the air. It looks right.
That's pretty good. But, yeah, I mean, both teams went for it. Both teams had 6 shots on target. Newcastle were a little wasteful, to be completely fair. Yeah. Now, Everton were playing hard, but, I mean, Newcastle had so much more of the ball. Everton were pretty damn efficient at getting down the field and creating opportunities for themselves.
And Charlie Alcaraz with the goal.
It was an absolutely fantastic header.
Really was.
And it had to be to root Nick Pope to the spot like that because it didn't have the power on it by any means. But he flicked it so far past where his body was flying from. Nick Pope just went, oh shit. He just did not expect it. It was just completely rooted to the spot. It was brilliant.
So I want to tell you the following, Mr. Graham. He hates Newcastle. He hates the shite. Jordan Pickford is dynamite.
There you go. I'm sure Alan and everyone else will love that.
I know Shore Billy's enjoying it right now. Like I said, them little tiny arms managed to reach up and knock that ball over the post. Reds finally get to lift a trophy in front of their fans. My biggest question to you, Graham, is considering how the rest of the league is going to retool, can they repeat?
I think they can. I don't think Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to make that big of a difference not being there anymore, to be completely honest. Although I don't know if that means they don't have any Scousmen left, which they've always had a Scousman in their side.
Yeah.
So that may be why everyone took this one particularly hard.
Could be.
Potentially. But no, I think they'll retool a little bit. But I think getting Virgil van Dijk and more so his presence rather than some of his football recently.
Right, because he's
made
beat.
some mistakes. Yeah. But his presence is still so intimidating for so many players that they end up just kind of tying themselves in knots because he's standing there.
And go get yourself 2 really good center backs and rotate Van Dijk. You don't have to put him out there every game.
Right. But and of course nailing Salah down the player of the season by a good margin in the vote from the Associated Press and others.
To think
those were the 2 most important pieces they had to get locked down to be contenders,
you
and they
have
did.
To imagine Saudi was ready to pull up the Brinks trucks for Mo.
Oh yeah,
so Mo still getting paid very, very, very well. Do not get me wrong.
Oh, he is.
But he probably took a potential pay cut by not going to Saudi.
Oh, a definite pay cut. I mean, I mean, you're talking about 3-4 generations worth of money he would have gotten paid for normal people.
Yep, agreed.
Now he's still got a multi-generational wealth built up, I'm sure.
Of course.
But this would have been a lot.
Oh yeah. His great-grandchildren's children would have been taken care of for the rest of their life.
Exactly. Yeah, rather than just his great-grandchildren. It would have been another generation would have been taken care of, minimum.
Yeah, easily. For Palace now finds themselves in Europe. We have 9 teams in Europe.
Is that a tidy little goal for them as well?
Yeah, and I'll talk about Brighton and how they're not in and why they're not in when we get to it. You want to go ahead and do another one of your shots?
Yeah, since we're talking about Liverpool winning the title and us finishing in second again, I might as well do it now.
I'll have a little sip of my Negroni.
It just intensifies with the second one in one show. You know?
I gotta tell you guys. A Malört
We should put hot
Negroni.
sauces in his third one.
A Malört Negroni. Not terrible. Not terrible at all.
Maybe I'll live your dream out. No, it wasn't horrible. I was very surprised.
Yeah, not horrible. It's really not bad at all. The Manhattan's going to be fucking dog shit.
I bet.
Here's my big question: can Palace keep up?
Again, I think they can. I think they can, man. So there are teams that are going to strengthen, and certain players may get plucked, but especially a flair player, right? If you're coming in as a center back, you know you're either going to be the starter or you will not play. So you have to pick whether or not. But if you're playing every 12 games, once or twice or excuse me, 12 to 15 games in the league a season in this three-man rotation.
And you're getting subbed in a lot.
And you're getting subbed in a lot. It's a higher risk for injuries because your body's not completely warmed up every time. It's a bigger risk for just losing form. It's a bigger risk for losing your place in a national team. And I think that matters to them. So I don't know that some of these people are going to get plucked off.
My question isn't about them being plucked off. This is a team that works on very much a very shoestring budget.
And maybe have to sell people.
They are not going to be able to buy enough reinforcements to also then play Europe.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's going to be very tough on them. And you know how we see some of those clubs like Southampton, Burnley, Everton's, West Ham's of the world that'll be in Europe and they just fall the fuck off the table.
In the league, yeah. Tottenham.
But that is, I feel like that could be a downfall to Palace going into next year. I worry for them because of that.
It absolutely
that they're going to lose
could.
players. I think they will hold on to people. I agree with you in that regard.
But so if you're buying backups, you're going to be buying cheaper anyway. And with the prize money for the television rights just for getting into the tournament, they should be able to buy a serviceable person on each line. Like, Mateta's going to be your starter.
Yeah.
Right? And then you've got Nketiah. So you have two serviceable forwards at minimum.
Right.
Munoz doesn't seem to, knock on wood, get hurt ever.
Right.
And just like a little energizer
Likewise
bunny.
with Tyreek Mitchell on the outsides.
Right. So I don't know that you necessarily need to cover those.
And they got that guy last year.
Right.
They got the Moroccan who can play both sides.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They do have somebody. Anyway, you got Adam Wharton's younger to cover for Will Hughes and vice versa. You have another central midfielder that I can't remember his name who's pretty decent. You've got Sarr
They got Decore.
who's popped up and done very, very well.
Yeah.
I don't because Decore's leaving Everton. It wouldn't surprise me if they brought him in to rotate.
The other Decore I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying, like, somebody like Decore, when they get somebody, he's free.
They have Lerma, too.
He's free, and his wages can't be that much, especially at his age.
Right.
So it's like somebody come in with some experience and a seasoned campaigner that doesn't need to play every week because of his age. You get him in there to help coach, essentially, and then if you need cover for 10 minutes, he can come on because he's had such a career at doing shit like that.
I think he's going to be looking for too much money because that's why he's not coming back to us.
Oh, really?
He wants a pay raise, and we're like, it ain't coming.
Not when you're 32.
Right, precisely.
But yeah, so if they can strengthen enough in those sorts of areas, I think they could still. I don't think they're going to do the same thing. Don't get me wrong, but I think they'll end up in somewhere 11th to 13th as usual. The Crystal Palace spots.
Now, I want to do this real quick, and then we're not even going to talk about the game. But Spurs go up 1-0, and then.
Get my way downtown, walking fast. I'm a seagull. Go fuck yourself.
The Seagulls walk all over them. Now, here is what happened in the scenario. Yes, they finished in 8th place. They needed for Chelsea to finish in 6th or 7th, and Chelsea has to win
The Conference League.
That was the only that, or if Newcastle finished in 6th or 7th and Chelsea won the Conference League. That was the only way Brighton could get in. The minute both Chelsea and Newcastle qualified for the Champions League, Brighton were out. So only 9 teams will be playing in Europe next year.
Well, they got the assignment because nobody else that was vying for any European spot got the assignment.
No, nobody. They're the only one.
Even Chelsea didn't play particularly well in that game against Forest.
No, they
it
didn't.
wasn't a good game. That was was very tepid.
It was an early
obviously
penalty
Villa shit
for
the bed. Newcastle shit the bed. Got lucky based on goal differential.
Early penalty for Spurs, and then it was all Seagulls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all
and it was.
Seagulls.
I mean, and the drop off was noticeable.
Yeah.
What a weird thing. Like, you wouldn't want to come back, provide a win, and celebrate your fans with the trophy because they have this
at your stadium.
Well, they have. It's not even like a last minute fucking bomb from their center back. Their 19-year-old center back or whatever, like it was a few weeks ago.
Right.
They got trounced. Then they have to walk into the dressing room, throw on their Championes shirts from the Europa League, and parade the trophy around a pitch.
Like,
After just getting battered.
Yeah. Badly.
First team in history to lose 22 league games and not be relegated.
17th place, 38 points.
It's pitiful.
Normally you need 39 to survive. They're lucky that 38 points was enough this season.
Yeah.
If any one of those three teams had tried at all,
It's horrible.
they could have gone down.
It's absolutely horrible.
They really, honestly could have gone down.
Yep.
Yeah, there's not much more to say about that.
Not much more to say about the rest of this.
Bees finish in the top 10. Do we think Thomas Frank stays?
I think he does because I'm not sure that he's proved himself enough for a top club to want him. He seems
And he doesn't want anybody. He wouldn't want anybody else's job unless it was a top club, right?
correct. I don't even know that he wants that necessarily. Some of the things he said in the last few weeks, he's a project guy.
He loves this project.
Very rarely at a top club do you walk into a project.
No.
And I think Graham Potter's figuring that out.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's why he chose West Ham over United.
Because West
it's
Ham's
a more
a project.
it's a more viable project.
Yeah.
But it's a project. When he went to Chelsea, I think it all fell apart for him.
Well, let's face it, too. What's the only job that's probably going to be available? Tottenham.
Right. Yeah, he shouldn't go to
want
there.
that job?
Right.
You do not want
Absolutely.
that job.
No,
you
you
do not
fucking
want
don't.
that job.
No, and we're talking about coming up here in a second, Areola. Mm-hmm. Does Bournemouth keep their managers? One of the same questions.
Yep, that is exactly what I'm thinking. And for Wolves, are they going to actually use the Cunha and Ant Nori money, or are they just going to sit on it? Because if they just sit on it and don't spend wisely, they're spot on to go down. If they don't
They could
spend
be
the
in
money.
trouble. Yeah, they could be in big trouble.
Yeah, I have a lot more faith in Leeds figuring out a way to stay up and Sunderland possibly shocking people because they have an exceptionally huge stadium and they will have money. Like, that team will have money. I'm not sold on Burnley, but those two, one if not both of them could stay up.
Yeah.
Wolves need to be fucking careful.
Yeah, Wolves, and I'd say West Ham, honestly. If West Ham don't have a good summer and they can't grasp Graham Potter's situation, although, and there's really not much to talk about the game, so might as well get it out of the way now since I mentioned their name. West Ham beat Ipswich 3-1.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yep.
You played decent football against an already relegated side on the final day of the season when half of your own players were even on the beach.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a good barometer yet of where next season's going to go. Because up until this point, the results, besides the one against Arsenal, has been dog shit.
There's going to be big changes, but what kind of big changes? Because there's not going to be a ton of purse money to work with. So I'm very interested in, are they really going to get much value for like a Kudos, like, in comparison to what they spent for them? So there's a lot of questions there.
Yep.
And then for, since we'll do that game and then we'll bounce back to yours. With McKenna, Ipswich, it really comes down to, does McKenna stay? If McKenna stays, I feel very good about them having a good shot at coming back up. Back up.
Fair.
Because you're really only going to lose Delap and maybe a couple other people. You don't really lose your identity or the core of the team if you lose a striker. You can always find another young goal scorer. You can always find, especially in the championship.
Exactly.
There's always a team wanting to loan a young starlet down to the championship to toughen them up. There is always that available.
Right.
For you now get to fucking reboot for the summer. Like, you don't have anything to focus on. Give the boys.
We're not in the Club World Cup.
Yeah,
we didn't buy
boys,
we didn't take the money.
Give the boys three to 4 weeks off. Figure out what you're going to buy.
Yep.
Obviously, at the top of that list is a striker.
Center forward.
You're getting a striker.
They're talking about now buying both Gorkaresh and Benjamin Sesko.
Hey, why not have two?
Yeah, because Gabby Jesus can't stay fit for more than 10 games a season.
Hey, you just get rid of Gabby, loan him out, get rid of him.
I
Move
say
on.
swap deal. Send his ass to Germany.
Yeah, and then you have Havertz to play all over because he can also play.
Because he can play in midfield, he can play on the wing a bit. Yep.
And you're going to need.
You're going to need multiple people rotating. You need people rotating.
Yeah. So, because that's how people end up getting hurt is because you don't have enough
rotate enough.
rotating.
Exactly.
So that's really it for them. I don't care what the points total say. The Saints were the worst team I've ever seen in the Premier League. They were fucking
atrocious.
Horrid.
Although they did try for a little bit in this game. Arsenal did obviously have dominate possession, and it with their third string blend.
Yeah.
We're still able to come through, and when Odegaard got subbed in and Saka got subbed in, the turn the screw even more, obviously. And Odegaard ends up getting the winner with a fantastic strike from distance. Lovely, though, for Kieran Tierney to score.
Yeah.
The opening goal. He is on his way back to Celtic this summer for sure.
Oh, good.
But no controversy, none of the shit.
It's a good place for him.
Social media stuff. No issues with him ever. Just a class act, good guy, good teammate. Always cheered the boys on. Honest, hardworking Glaswegian that just wants to go home since he's not playing very much.
Yeah, don't blame him.
He tried to have a spell on loan in Spain last season, and obviously spent a decent amount of that time hurt. But go get back. That's who we bought him from, with Celtic. So nice to see him going home and trying to get his career back under him, sort his fitness out, and he's still relatively young. I'm sure he'll still be able to move on and do something. But became a full Scottish international with us, and just awesome.
Yep. Bournemouth is the team I really worry for. I think they are going to get picked apart. I think it starts with Areola. I think that Kluivert's gone. I think
their
Kirkesh
goalkeeper goes back. Potentially.
Yeah, Kepa goes back. Kepa goes back and may become the starter at Chelsea.
Could be.
Chelsea's keeping situation has not been
despite
good.
them buying a lot of goalkeepers.
Yeah, I mean, Kepa may be the starter again, because he was, obviously we can't forget what Sells did, and Raya had a good year, and Pickford had a good year, but I'd put him in the top 5 keepers for the season in the league.
Yeah,
hands down, he was
tend to agree
phenomenal for the Cherries.
It was great.
But Hausen is gone. Kirkes is gone.
I would reckon so.
A lot of that team is going to be picked apart.
And I think Bournemouth, because of missing out on Europe especially, may actually need to sell some players to just keep their books in order.
Yeah. I don't feel that they're a team that's going to go out, but it's one of those teams that next year we could be looking at and going, what happened?
Well, you saw how they started when Areola, right before Areola came in. You saw how they played with Scott Parker.
Yeah.
It was largely the same squad, bounced right up the table. That was dead last when they came up they came up under Parker. Remember?
Well, it was Parker, and then it was Gags. Gary O'Neill handled him for a little while.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and
I don't remember that.
Yeah. And then Gags
and
went
then
to
it was Areola.
Yeah, and then it was Areola.
Huh.
Yeah. But
I don't remember that at all. Wow.
Yeah, he took over. Yeah. That was Gag's first job.
Nice.
It's all right. All good. Here's the funny one. Just to finish the games and the teams, Foxes are going down. They are going to be facing more charges from the FA from
because they closed that loophole.
Right, because they closed that loophole.
Congratulations.
Also, Van Nistelrooy will be out. And moving into his spot, apparently, Russell Martin.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Well, I mean, he did get promoted before.
I mean, he'll give them a very attractive style, but will it work in the Prem?
No, of course it won't.
Of
course it won't.
And also, how many? I've heard this could be a 15-pointer. The book really fucking.
Oh, really?
At him,
Good. Still haven't heard about City stuff yet, though.
Yeah, but City's fine. City
talking about Leicester, I think this is the appropriate time to do my last shot of Malört.
Hot sauce in it.
Oh yeah, give me the hot sauce.
Coming at you,
please.
Hot sauce? Or are you gonna do the hot sauce on your thumb like tequila?
No, I'm not gonna live out her dream.
We'll do that next season.
I feel like that would be rude.
I mean, there's a show title. I'm not going to live out her dream. That's a good one. Well, I might as well start making my Manhattan here.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's so gross, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
Sure money.
Well, it's sure money, and it's also going to be our prediction segment. But
I was going to say was cheers to Jamie Vardy one last time.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
Oh, that bad, huh?
It's bad.
Does Van Nistelrooy go to Leverkusen?
No.
Best cold reader in the business, yo.
Van Notzel doesn't.
I'm like, I looked at that. I'm like, is that even English? Someone's writing in Dutch.
Do you remember FC Keith? I think it was from Scotland that lost like I don't know, like 148 consecutive games. That's my sure money over the last 2 seasons, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a single one. As Taylor said, Villa fucks my bet, but I still finished up 203 for the season.
Sure, Billy says show title should be, oh, it's so bad. I agree. It's so bad.
So bad. And look, I'm even going to use a Luxardo fucking maraschino cherry for this Manhattan, boys and girls.
Ooh, can I have one of those just to eat? Do you have a toothpick?
Here, I'll pass you the bar spoon.
Nice. That might help deal with the Malört taste I've still got in my mouth from the other segment.
And in the classic Nick and Nora glass, Mr. Graham, because if I'm going to do this bet, I'm going to do it fucking correctly.
Yeah.
So here we go. A Malört Manhattan.
Dude, Luxor cherries are so good.
It tastes like slightly sweet Malört.
It tastes like there's a little bit of hope, and then it quickly gets crushed.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much
It's
it.
like, oh, this might not be. Yep, no, it's still as bad.
So I
And
think
it's really not a good follow-up to the hot sauce either.
of the 5 years, 6 years we've been doing betting, I think you've won twice and I've won 4 times. I think it is. I
don't know.
I haven't checked it all. I know the last 2 I've won, and I've been in the black in both of them, and you've been
Ofer. Yeah, it hasn't been good.
All right,
Has
so
not been good.
Mr. Graham, it's that
Prediction time.
Why don't you tell everybody what we do every year for predictions?
All right, so as soon as the transfer window closes, we decide on who's going to finish where, 1 through 20, and try to figure that out. And then we also predict the League Cup winners, the FA Cup winners, the first manager sacked, the top scorer in the league, and a subjective one is the dark horse.
Right,
And
the dark horse we kind of give each other.
We come to terms whether or not we actually are.
That sounds like a porno search term.
We're actually going to give that point.
Give each other the dark horse.
Right.
Mr. Graham, we are currently at 19-19. We've been doing this now for 6 years.
This is our 7th set. Yeah. of 19.
19 correct each of all of the things we just put. 20 plus 5, 25 every single season we could get right. We've gotten 19 right total. And last year I beat you 6-5. So that made it a 19-19.
Right.
Draw.
Most of those points were scored. Yeah.
So,
absolutely terrible.
Mr. Graham, let's get it started. I'll let you go first. Who did you have as the champion of the league?
I had Arsenal doing it. I'm going to will it into existence. It's going to keep going until it happens.
I did that with you last season, and I did it with you again. Yep. I was hoping my friend would win a title.
So
and
that's an X.
Big old
Obviously.
X.
It was, in fact, Liverpool that did.
Second place, I'll go first. I had Manchester City.
So did I.
Yeah, we both suspected that it was going to be a 2-horse
Finally,
race.
flip-flop. Yep.
Third place, you go ahead.
Yes, sure, Billy. 19 out of 175.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We are very aware how fucking bad we are at this.
Sure money, bro.
Alrighty, go for it, Mr. Graham. Who do you have for third place?
I had Liverpool.
Exact same thing. So right now we are 3 for 3 on being wrong together.
Incorrect, yeah. And third, obviously, was Manchester City.
Fourth place, I went with Mel's Villa. And if they had fucking won, they would have been.
Yep. I had Newcastle.
Okay.
It was actually Chelsea.
Fifth place, I had Chelsea.
Fifth place, I had Spurs.
Oh, wow.
Because I had Newcastle in fourth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was not. It was actually Newcastle.
Who'd you have for sixth place then?
I had Chelsea. sixth.
I had Spurs, so you and I only flip-flopped by one there.
Yeah, and still wrong because it was actually Villa in sixth.
In seventh place, I had Manchester United. What the fuck was I thinking?
I had Villa in seventh because I thought of the Champions League campaign being a bit too much for their squad.
Right now, we are both 0 for 7. We have not gotten a single fucking one right.
Because seventh was actually Nottingham Forest.
Eighth place, I have Newcastle.
In eighth place, I had United. So I saw how bad it was under Ten Hag, and then they didn't really buy nobody.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be even worse. It was actually Brighton, of course.
Who'd you have for ninth place?
In ninth place, I had Palace.
That is great minds. I had fucking Crystal Palace too. I thought they were going to be a big foreshadowing dark horse.
Yep. They weren't in the league.
10th place, I had the Seagulls, Brighton.
You had Brighton in 10th.
Who did you have
Hold
in 10th?
on. I wrote 9 and then I wrote 11.
Okay,
Let
heard.
me make sure there's the full 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Shorebilly says 8th. What the fuck? No respect.
Okay.
No respect. Sorry, Shore Billy.
I had Fulham in 10th.
You had Fulham in 10th. Okay.
It was not. It was
both
Brentford. Yep.
In 11th, I had the Cherries.
You had the Cherries. It was actually Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
I had Brighton.
And then in 12th place, who did you have?
All closed on that one.
In 12th, I had Brentford.
I had Brentford as well. You know, Graham, at least we can look at it this way. Like 6, you and I have said the exact same thing.
I love how wrong together you are.
I know,
It's
but
so
wrong,
great.
like,
There's
simpatico
a show
wrong.
title. How wrong together you are.
Yeah.
I love how wrong together you
That
are.
is pretty good. So 13th was actually Everton, of course.
Who did you
Got
have for 13th?
Got their season together. I had Brentford. No, excuse me. I did not. Is that what we just did?
No, we just did 12th. I had Brentford.
Oh, yeah,
and you had
Brentford. I'm sorry. 13th, I had Bournemouth.
Mr. Graham, put it on the board. 13th place, Everton, baby.
Shit.
You guessed your own club to be at 13th.
Yeah, at the time before the transfer window, they were fucking right around the relegation zone. Okay, so give me a fucking break.
And you got it. Like, that's
Yep.
adorable.
14th place,
That's so self-aware.
14th place, I picked Fulham.
Nice.
Shorebilly says your menzies have synced.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Nice.
They have synced.
I'm sorry.
By the way, Shore Billy, they've been synced for a long fucking time.
In 14th, I had West Ham.
Very good. Who was 14th?
14th. Oh, shit. Was West Ham.
Holy shit, we're back to 1-1.
Come on. I like it.
I wish I had a bell. Sorry. Hold on. Let me see what I can do about that.
15th place, I had West Ham.
There you go. I got a bell for you, Graham.
All right. Thank you. So it's 1-1. This is
yeah.
getting hot and heavy.
And it's we are to 15 teams, and we are at 1-1.
Right. It's fucking ridiculous.
We're a
about
Sean
right.
Dyche side. We're a draw heavy team. Where we get them wrong, we'll call those draws where we both guessed.
No shit.
This
All
is
right.
why
So
you're big on YouTube.
we're on 16, right?
Uh-huh.
We're on 16.
Oh, well, 15. Did you say who your 15 was? I had West Ham.
Oh, 15. Oh, I had Wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that
Who
yet.
have no natural predators.
Of course they don't.
And
But they're
Except it was
Casual.
actually Man United, so maybe
Yeah.
Red Devils can defeat Wolves.
exactly. 16th, who do you have?
16th, I had Leicester.
I have Wolverhampton.
Oh, no.
It's 2-1!
That's trouble for me.
In the 80th minute, I score. There's still extra time. In 17th, who do you have?
In 17th, I had Forest.
You had Forest. I had Leicester. So both of us are wrong.
The chats are saying Graham is starting to get that Sideshow Bob profile.
Yeah, he
Shut
is.
the fuck up.
Mr. Graham, this was the worst kept secret because I've been talking about it all year. In 18th place, the most wrong I could ever be, I had Nottingham Forest going down.
Yeah, I had them in 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I
did
had
you-
Ipswich.
Ipswich in 18th. Very good. All right. Then in 19th, who did you have?
Why is this not adding up correctly?
Because I don't think I've heard you say Everton yet. Did you have Everton getting
Yeah,
relegated?
I had Everton in 15th,
15th, okay.
which was really 14th because I skipped 10.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, does it?
It could, because in 19th, I had Ipswich.
Who are your bottom two? Who go from the bottom up?
I think we
I had
both
Southampton in 20th.
we both got Southampton right,
Yeah.
and I picked Ipswich in 19th, which they finished in 19th.
Who's your 19th? Who's above Southampton on your list?
Ipswich.
Okay, so we both got that right. All right, so I got...
And I had Wolves going down and Forest staying out.
Okay, got
I
it.
swear to God, I feel like I'm talking to my mother right now.
I have...
Terrible.
I have 4 in that segment.
1, 2,
You have 3, I think.
3.
Yep.
I have 3 correct.
First manager sack, do you have that? Because I don't remember who it was. Was it Ten Hag? I think it was Ten Hag.
It might have been because I very normally picked Russell Martin.
I had Russell Martin too, but I don't think it was Russell Martin as the first sack.
Manager
I'm pretty
sacked.
sure it was Ten Hag who went down, who got fired first. I'm going to pull this up in Manhattan here.
AI overview. Sacked and hired this season.
No, I don't want to taste it.
Eric Ten Hag was sacked by Manchester United in October.
So he was the first.
Sure,
I
Billy.
think so.
Did Graham eat a whole gummy before the show?
What, today?
Yes.
No, this is what I wrote in fucking September.
Yeah.
And I just skipped a number and then I screwed it up. Allow.
All right. So we both got it wrong.
It's definitely wrong. I'm 99% sure it was Ten Hag.
Yeah,
but now
because
this
Russ
isn't.
Martin wasn't until till December.
If there's wrong, the chats will tell us.
Got it. Goal scorer. Who do you have?
Goal scorer, I had Erling Haaland.
Likewise as well, it was Mo Salah who was the leading goal scorer. We'll do dark horse last just because that's subjective. FA Cup, I always pick Everton. I know they're never going to win, so I got that wrong.
FA Cup, I had Newcastle. I thought they were going to press on and do something special that they did a couple of, with the final, and they did, just the wrong fucking tournament.
Wrong tournament.
Yeah.
And in the League Cup, I picked City because they've won it a bunch.
Right,
but,
I picked Liverpool because I thought Slot, because they still had all their players, I thought Slot would be able to do something in a cup and just say we kept them winning going, and they'd kind of drop in the league a little bit, but that didn't happen.
All right, so dark horse. I have a feeling we both picked the same one. The question is do we feel the dark horse is only okay for the league, or does winning a cup mean something and getting into Europe? I picked Palace. I'm sure you picked Palace as well.
I
as your
picked
dark horse.
Palace also because of the way they ended last season, and then the league kind of sputtered there at the end and dropped them down to 9th.
You say yes? Yeah, I say they won a fucking trophy.
Yeah.
Like that's all right. So
that's good. So I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4.
I got 5. So I've beaten you 2 years in a row.
Damn it.
5-4, and it is now 24-23. Houston, that's right, in a possible 200 correct points. We are at a riveting 24-23. All right, well, Mr. Graham, that's going to wrap up another season, our 7th fucking season of the DU Football Show.
Pretty impressive stuff.
Any parting words, good man?
Yeah, something happened today. Obviously, wasn't great. There's still investigations happening. There's still a lot of things going on. A little bit of new information has come out about the situation, but we've all, I'm sure, seen a car hitting pedestrians at the Liverpool parade, open top bus parade.
Yep.
I'm going to side with all of the police statements and say not to share videos until the investigation's complete and all that kind of stuff. I have not seen a video yet, so I don't know what it looked like. All we know is that a car hit a bunch of people.
We do not know if the person who was driving the car supports any football team or a particular football team in any regard.
All they said was that he's a 53-year-old white guy. They don't believe it to be terrorism, and he was arrested at the scene.
That's all we know.
That's all we know. And 27 people are in the hospital, 2 of which are seriously injured. But other than that, it's a shame.
Let's also remember that.
But we don't know if he had a medical emergency. We don't know anything. Literally, we know nothing about the case. We just now know
the actions of one person are
parties.
not reflective of an entire club or an entire community. So let's also remember that whoever it ends up being, if it's an Everton supporter or a United supporter or a City supporter, whatever it ends up being, that one person's actions is not indicative of what the club or the club's community believes in. But all that being said, just let a motherfucker celebrate a win.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Let him celebrate. Let him celebrate.
The thing that makes it seem somewhat deliberate to me is they're usually on a parade route. They close down the side streets, and for some reason he was driving on one of the side streets right off the parade route.
Right.
So it's not a great look.
No,
from where
absolutely
I'm sat.
not.
And I'm just going to say the same thing that you said. If it's that motivated, if it's not, we don't know what the motivations are. We don't know much of anything. All we know
Could
is
just
that
be a very hateful, lonely man that decided he was going to hurt a bunch of people that were celebrating. His wife could have left him. He could have been in a terrible place. Who fucking knows?
It could be any number of things. But 27 people got hurt at a celebration.
Yeah.
2 seriously injured. Hopefully not life-threatening, but that's even unclear at the moment.
Exactly.
So just people shouldn't go to the football and get hurt.
Right.
It has no place.
Exactly.
And it sucks. And just the thoughts of us and our community, I'm sure, can speak on behalf of y'all, go out to the victims of this.
Absolutely.
This tragedy.
Just people wanting to celebrate winning a trophy that they didn't get to celebrate the first time because there was
COVID.
a pandemic. Yeah.
But that's how it's just
let
it's
people
sad.
Celebrate.
It's just sad, and you wonder how much one club can go through as a community of just shit happening to them.
Yeah,
it's
fucking.
It just always seems like their fans are in the wrong place at the wrong time, kind of even when they're meant to be there.
Right.
Right.
So
it's terrible. I feel really bad for them.
Exactly. And with that, Mr. Graham, we wrap up our 7th season of the DU Football Show.
Thank you all very much for always being around and always being with us and continuing to listen and engage and chill with us. It's a lot of fun, man.
We're gonna take a little time off because we need it.
Yeah, tired.
We will expect us to have getting to know you shows coming out in July. We'll have one for Leeds. We already procured a Sunderland supporter as well. And of course, Burnley will have Brett back. He's fucking fantastic.
We don't own him, Sam.
Okay. Well, we have procured someone to be a guest for the show. And thank God it wasn't the fucking Blades. Thank fucking God it wasn't the Blades.
I might have PTSD when that red and white striped shirt walks in there.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about... Oh, God, no! We're going to talk about that on the next show, which is DU Does EFL. We're going to go ahead and keep the live stream up for sure, Billy, so he'll be a happy boy. And there is no injury time, but should somebody want to support the show going into next season, how do they go about doing it?
Very easy. It's patreon.com/DFootballShow. Sign up to that $5 tier, and you will be getting all of our extra content. All of that goes back into the shows, so that includes, purchasing the Whiskey Advocate list, upload costs, XYZ. We don't actually take a fee, any of us, for doing this. It all gets reinvested. So, yeah, check it out. It's really cool, and a lot of our extra stuff is pretty funny, if I do say so myself.
And if you do become a Patreon person, you'll hear all the sound checks with Young Hot Freshness and I for the Annapolis, for the Naptown Blues podcast. And you will also have the Whiskey Show and, of course, the famous 3rd of July party recap. So,
yep.
Everybody, it's been a fantastic season of footy, an absolute crazy emotional ride for all of us. And just for myself as one of the 3 here, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to talk footy with you guys every single week. And until next season, everyone.
Happy summer. Good night.